And strangely enough, with Harold Melvin, the Blue Notes at the Fairfield Halls in Croydon with Hot Chocolate some years ago, and that's where you are, I think, tomorrow night, isn't it, as well?
Is it the same hall?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
I told you I passed this way before.
Yeah, right. And that little thing you wrote on the dressing room wall, still there? They could never scrub it off.
Did you check the bathroom?
Yes. You have been there. Love I Lost, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, with, of course, Teddy Pendergrass on lead vocals. What did you learn from working with Harold Melvin? And at what stage did you say to yourself, now listen, I've got to get out and do something on my own because this isn't quite what I want? Was it quite early on? Were you singing with them for a long time when you wish you were elsewhere?
Kind of. I was all for the purpose, for the cause. And the cause was to build an act, and I was very satisfied with that. It was just a problem of trying to, once I realized what it could really be, once we came out of a little club situation where there were 40, 50 people, and that's where that's where you use that kind of approach to show business, that kind that we had in Croydon. Once we got into a concert situation where people really do, it's bigger than life. We had never experienced it, so I did learn that coolness and calmness and being in that, and I do apply it, I'm sure, in a lot of situations. So I did learn a lot from the affiliation, and I'm very grateful for it. But it's just that other side that never had a chance to really be cut loose, and that's that.
Because in the concert situation, can you handle all these young women who want to hurl themselves at you because they find you so sexy?
Can I handle them?
Yeah. Can you manage?
Professionally?
Professionally.
Yes.
Can you handle them privately?
If I put my mind to it, I'm sure.
But you have to work at it.
not too much. How come you're blushing and I'm not?
No, I'm just watching your eyes, you see, and you're looking to the left, you're looking to the right, then you say, now, here comes the answer. Because I read somewhere, and I actually smiled at it, where it said something like, oh, I'm getting too old for all this. And I said to myself, Teddy Pendergrass didn't say that. Somebody else said that for him. You didn't say that, did you?
Yes, I did.
He did. Let's get back to what it's like to actually work at Philly International. Now, you said this is a fine example of everyone from the car park attendant to the local cop all bailing into the studio to back
everybody.
Everybody, right. If you listen out closely, you'll hear the janitor and the chauffeur and the chef and the secretaries. Who else is on there? Can you remember?
I think maybe the OJs, whoever were in the studio. Anybody that was around, a couple of local artists, Dexter Wansell, secretaries, everybody.
Notice no album sleeve credits. That has happened. That's what happens when you need some backup singers. Everyone from the janitor to the secretaries. That must make a nice break from typing, mustn't it?
It's incredible.
Come and sing a song. Now, on the last tour, Stephanie Mills was with you. Where did you get this special singing relationship and special working relationship from? I asked her the same question. I'm not going to tell you what she told me.
Oh, I can imagine.
She was very sweet.
It started in New York. It was at Westchester, New York, and Stephanie was on the show with me, and she had recorded a song, Feel the Fire, just after the original gentleman had recorded. His name was Peebo Bryce, and I had thought about putting that song in my show. This was the perfect excuse. So I just walked up to her, I said, Miss Mills, would you mind if we sang the song together? And she said, no. Really, so we had one rehearsal, just practiced who was going to sing what note. And she said, you don't want to rehearse anymore? And I said, no, let's leave it and just be spontaneous about it, because she sings very spontaneously. You know, she ad-libs very well, and I appreciate that in her career. I mean, with her talents. And so we just did it that night. So the next album, I just thought I had this great idea. I said, well, let's do it as a duo. And she agreed, and that started it.
Did you like doing those duos? Is it something that in your show over the years you might feature different singers? You might hear a nice song by a singer and say, well, hey, come along, let's do a duo with it. Or is it just a one-off?
I really don't know. I didn't expect to do that. I don't know exactly what I may do next. I'm a spontaneous person. Whatever hits my fancy, I'll try it. If I think it's musically positive, I'll try it.
How highly do you rate Dexter Wenzel?
As we say, that's my main man. We produce together, and he has a wonderful taste for melodies, and I have this thing for percussions, and together it's very interesting. I think he's one of the better producers. He just has not had a chance to go very big with it and spread it very well, you know, on a bunch of different artists. But for the Philadelphia artist, because he's what you call in-house, and he can't. But I think that if he were a freelance producer, I think he would get calls from everywhere, because he's a great, he's a jazz musician, and he incorporates that with other things, and it turns out beautifully.
He being in-house, though, his book's full, isn't it, for months and months and months ahead. You know, everyone wants Dexter to work on albums and singles with them.
Yeah, very busy. He's the busiest producer we have.
Do you think that his strength perhaps would come through in a bigger way if he was not an in-house man, that if he was perhaps involved with other artists that you're kind of
Well, we don't know, but at this point, this is his beginnings. And we all must have beginnings. We should not jump out straight ahead until at least we have an idea of what we're doing. It's similar to the thing that I did with the Blue Notes, until I thought I was ready to accept it by myself and freelancing, so to say, and not to incorporate it. I think he's doing a good thing now, but eventually he's going to go. He's only 31 years old.
He makes you feel comfortable, does he, when he's around, when you're working on projects?
Yeah.
You're
very comfortable.
You look for your main man.
Yeah, that's that melody side, that's that relaxed side of him. You know, he's exactly like that. And I'm exactly like a percussion. I mean, I'm revved up all the time, and he's real mellow. And it complements. And I kind of let him take the reins on a lot of things. And I say, calm me down, please, because I really want this track to go. You know, and he'll say, okay, calm down. And he'll take it, and he'll mellow it out. And we just work real good together.
And this is, he has this unique talent for not playing jazz, but there always being jazz there in whatever he does.
Yeah.
And a jazz man would listen and say, that's not jazz. You go, oh, you just listen a little bit more.
He incorporates it in the arrangement, and he's an incredible arranger. You know, his mind just expands. I mean, he can hear hundreds of strings. I mean, and just put them all together, and it sounds like, he can either make it sound like 200 strings or make it sound like 30 strings, but it's 100 strings. I mean, he just has that knack of putting chords together, and it's just a beautiful arranger.
Talking about Dexter Wenzel, Dexter's influence is very much on the Jones Girls, particularly Nights Over Egypt. What about the Jones Girls? Because they're another highly respected group in this country, but haven't cracked it. How highly do you rate them?
They're very good friends, and they're very talented. Very, very talented. They just some more time has to be spent with them. This is only their second or third album, and it's got to get better for them, because they're really good and they deserve it. And they sing incredibly well, and they are sisters, and it's like they've been singing all of their lives together. So when you get that kind of blend, it's really close and it's tight, and they're good people. And as a matter of fact, I hope to be working with them when I get back to the States. So that's how I regard them.
Okay, well, there's no better answer than that. That's spontaneity, you know. Young lady, my name is Teddy Pendergrass. Do you fancy singing a song? Well, funny you should ask, Mr. Pendergrass, sir. Teddy Pendergrass and Stephanie Mills, Take Me in Your Arms tonight. We have Frankie Beverly and Mays coming to town very soon. And you both hail from the same place, don't you?
Been acquainted a lot of years. A lot of years. As a matter of fact, when I was a waiter in a club in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Frankie Beverly was playing. So I had a good dose of listening to him every night. And we both respect each other vocally. And I would never step on his toes, and he would never step on my toes. That's how high we respect each other.
Do you have a very good professional relationship?
Yeah, we work together.
Right. Do you go to Mays concerts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, what I tend to do, if it's somebody I really like at the time and I like their music at the time, I'll bring them on my show, and I'll work with them. So I go to the concert, but I really pay to see a concert because I hire them. And I come early every night and I watch the concert.
And you'd put on Mays, would you, yourself?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
Did they know that you actually put them? It's a bit it's a bit like a new film coming out, isn't it? And when you're very rich in America, you can phone up and say, will you come and show that film for me? Well, you can't phone up Frankie Beverly, surely, and say, hey, Frankie, I fancy a Mays concert, I'm going to put you on at so-and-so, can you?
Well, now, you don't quite say it like that, but they also know who's signing the checks. They can read the contract.
Who else have you put on? Who else have you put on?
Oh, gosh, Stephanie, Phyllis Hyman, Betty Wright, oh, God.
And that's the business side of Teddy Pendergrass, because you like to work your way through all that, because isn't that a headache, a concert? Because those musicians are a pain sometimes, aren't they?
Not mine.
No? Don't they have long riders on there?
Oh, you mean other bands and things?
Yes, if you're involved in actually putting on another band, I mean, doesn't Frankie Beverly put a huge page of riders on there?
Well, we managed to work things out. I don't mind treating people really. I treat people like I like to be treated. And so I try to make it very comfortable for people who are working on a show with me.
Who is the next person you'd like to put on a show? You've been scanning your eyes around the American scene at the moment, saying, yes, I think you ought to.
There's a lot. As a matter of fact, Diana, I went to see her, and I had just closed in Las Vegas, and she was still working, so I went to see her concert. She called me up on the stage and asked the audience, wouldn't they like to hear a record with her and myself? That sounds very nice to me. Certainly oh goodness, I would love to. In that case,